guys and gals, never hear from Drakewing Game, and I still be on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Violet Memoir, Lucas's Path. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Okay. There were too many strange things about it, though. No weapons were found in the room, and there were numerous deep cuts that claws could not make. Conrad somehow had cracked a skull, but he was much stronger than Helena. No one heard a thing, even though these rooms are not soundproof. Anyone walking by could hear. Did anyone walk by? A lot of students passed through here before that happened. It doesn't make sense. More and more things came out, but the police ignored it. Helena killed herself the night they arrested her and took all the answers with her. But she wouldn't do that to her mother. There's something strange, but no one cared. They just saw it as a confession of guilt. The news changed her into some monster, but she wasn't. He'd been trying his best to keep his composure, but as his breathing increases, I can see his eyes growing more wet by the second, and I place a hand on top of his. I think that's enough. I can't watch you put yourself through this anymore. Are you sure? Yeah. There wasn't anything else major, right? No, that was everything. If I remember something else, I will get in contact with you. I promise. Both of us sit there in silence, listening to his rapid breaths and quiet sobs until it becomes too much. I get up out of my chair and walk around to him, kneeling down to give him a hug, one that he reciprocates with a tight hold that could put Oscar to shame. You're soft. If you think my fur is soft, you should feel Lucas's. He takes better care than me. I could see that. I could see, but there's something special about yours, too. It's longer than his, and reminds me of my grandmother's rug. Such a silly thing to mention that it causes the two of us to laugh. A bittersweet sound that only makes me squeeze tighter. By the time we pull away, my own eyes start to sting, and I have to make an effort not to sniffle. I hadn't realized how much of a toll this took on him. He always seemed so secure. Do not pity me, friend. I can see it in your face. I've moved on, and I'm doing well for myself. There will always be questions that we will never get the answers to, no matter how much we wish to find them. I'm trying to sound like a poet. My bad. I'm fluent in English, but when I get upset, it's hard to think straight and I end up speaking like a dictionary. My friends tease me mercilessly about it. It's cute. I don't mind it. And careful, you have a boyfriend now. People might think that's flirting. But I just gave you a compliment. That's enough to some people. But don't worry, I have a feeling you and Lucas will work out perfectly fine. He's in good hands. I hope so. He pulls away from the table and I rise back to my feet, my knees screaming in pain at kneeling for so long. Maybe I should ask him to help me work out. That's enough for one day. I don't like to think back on this too much, but you deserve to know. Did you want me to keep you company? No, I think I'll be fine. Plus, your phone's been blinking for a while. I think you have someone waiting for you. I search my pockets, only to be unable to find it until Kostya points to the little area next to where I've been sitting. I didn't even realize I put my phone on the table. It was still muted, too. I went to interrupt his story, and now I'm being punished for it. It's a few messages, but only from Lily and Lucas, both asking the same thing. If I'm free to meet up with everyone. Sounds like everyone else has already agreed. Can you give Lucas a hug for me? I'd love to give him one myself, but I don't think he'd agree to that. Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. Are you sure you don't want to come? Ooh, excuse me. I have my own friends. Maybe you can meet them soon. And with one final wink that makes me feel a little inferior to his handsome smile, he disappears through the door, leaving me behind in this cursed room. I don't wait for a second before I burst out of there as well, catching his attention as he stares at me with wide eyes but doesn't make a comment as he continues on his way. The air out here is still stagnant and oppressive, but it doesn't feel as ominous now that I know why it feels like this. But that doesn't mean I want to be here any longer. As soon as I left the science building, it felt like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I'm glad I don't spend much time there. I don't think I can handle it. I texted Lucas and Lily that I was heading over to the cafe to meet up, but within seconds of me sending the message, Lily started flooding my phone with messages galore. There wasn't even enough time to read them before they were pushed to the top of the screen. Most of it was a mess of incomprehensible messages, but I gathered the general idea was her trying to pry about last night. My suspicions as to what happened are immediately confirmed when I receive an apology from Lucas. It seems like he accidentally let it slip that we're dating, not that it bothers me too much. Honestly, I was just as excited to finally have a boyfriend. I'd always been a little worried that I'd gotten through all high school without going on a single date. I know it isn't that weird, but it feels like I missed out. I was just trying to keep it quiet for Lucas's sake. This whole thing is pretty sensitive for him, and I would never want to make him uncomfortable. Something that I know a barrage from Oscar would definitely make him. Though, it sounds like it's just Lily that knows. I'd have to check that out later, but that's for when we're done. By the time I arrived at the cafe, it was 2:30 in the afternoon. I hadn't realized I burnt that much time with Kostya. I could have sworn we only talked for an hour at most, but I guess I lost track of time. Now that we were about to all be together again, I kind of wish I brought the diary with me. Maybe we could talk about it and pass on the information me and Lucas learned. Thankfully, the campus's cafe is smaller. I might have had to actually look for them. Everyone is sitting around the table that Lily and Leigh sat at the other day. The only person who's missing is Leigh, who I can see inside ordering something. Lily looks like she's trying and failing to restrain herself from asking Lucas something, and I have a good idea what it's about. Lucas looks to be ignoring her, though her flushed features aren't helping him look composed. Oscar looks to be leaning back and enjoying the show as Lucas slowly grows redder. Whether that's anger or embarrassment, I can't tell. Thankfully, my arrival catches the attention of the group immediately, taking the heat off him. Hey, little dude, come to enjoy the show? I've been watching Grumpy sulk for nearly 10 minutes. Maybe I should start calling him Steamy. I'm not sulking. I just want to keep my privacy. There's nothing wrong with that. I just wish I kept my mouth shut. But you didn't, and you won't give me any details. Come on, give me the deets. I already told you I'm not going to tell you. Why do you keep asking? I'm not going to change my mind. I can be pretty persuasive, but I'll let you go. But if you feel comfortable telling me about it later, I'd be down to talk. Thanks, I might do that, actually. I have some, questions that I can't ask my roommate. That makes my eyebrows raise, but he avoids looking at me. I have no idea what he could be talking about, but I don't think it's anything bad. At least I hope it isn't. It's hard to tell what Lucas finds embarrassing. He totally lacks shame, so what could have him feeling awkward? I have no idea what they're talking about. I tried to ask about Lily or Grumpy. but Lily or Grumpy won't tell me. Papa Bear just told me to be patient, too. I think he's figured it out. Though I have a pretty good idea. If Grumpy's face is that red, it probably only means one thing. And that's not your business, is it? Leigh comes back with 2 cups in his hand, but instead of taking the open seat next to me, he stays standing and places a paper cup in front of me. Oh, I don't drink coffee. Don't worry, Lucas already told me. That's just some hot cocoa, unless that's not your thing either. Oh, well, I do like hot chocolate. My mom used to make it all the time for me and my brother. I know it's just cocoa, milk, and hot water, but it was amazing to my kid brain. Who doesn't love some hot chocolate, though? Coffee is nasty and tea is boring, but hot choc? That's the good stuff. Oscar, come the fuck on now. That's like a child. I think you both have the brains of a kid. I try to ignore the slightly demeaning comment and reach over for my drink, only for Leigh to slide it away from me, leaving me to look up at him in confusion. Can we talk? I mean, sure. Why can't we? In private. That makes everyone perk up from their shared confusion. It makes it clear that this isn't something they all agreed on beforehand. Lucas glances over to me with a worried expression, but I can only give a small shrug in return. I had no reason to say no, so I just nod and follow after him as he guides me to a separate area not too far away. I can still see the others from here. Lily and Oscar have gone back to talking to each other, but Lucas is still watching us, looking slightly nervous, like he wasn't sure if he should get up and come along or just wait. I didn't recognize what building we were in front of at first, but after a second glance, I realized that we're next to the cultural center, just the other side of it. The back of it was closer to the cafe than I expected. No wonder we came across Aura just wandering around here. Is everything all right? You're looking a little out of it. We can do this later if you need to. I don't mind. No, I'm okay. I just got a little distracted. What did you need me for? I just wanted to make sure everything went good with you and Lucas last night. He looked like he'd had a truck run over him when he arrived, and I was worried that might have had something to do with me. With you? I encouraged the two of you to head home together, but I'm worried that might have backfired. Lily tried asking him about what happened after, but Lucas kept dodging the question. He's hiding some shit. He's not slick. You don't have to tell me anything that you don't want to, but I worry about you. The both of you. You do? You remind me of my little sister. Don't tell her I said that, though. She'd kick me in the shin. She's got a real good kick, too. It'll fucking hurt like shit. Are you sure she's like me? Don't worry about it. back to what I was asking. Did something happen last night? Now I'm back to being put on the spot again. I hadn't expected this to happen again so soon, but it's to be expected, I suppose. I'd come here with the intention of telling everyone what me and Lucas found, so I should have expected the attention. I just hadn't planned on talking about this already, but it might be a good idea to get Leigh's opinion on this. He's probably the most level-headed one here. Things got a little strange. Going home wasn't a problem, but when we got back, I told him how you feel. How did you know? You're not exactly subtle, kid. Neither of you two are. You two have been getting closer by the day. It was inevitable. You think? Kid, Lucas looks at you like he's a child in a candy store. Calling it puppy dog love would be an understatement. But it didn't go that smoothly, did it? You wouldn't be talking about it if it did. You don't have to tell me the details, kid. I won't force you to reveal anything. Just let me know what happened. It went well at first. We kissed and it was great, but then he suddenly pulled away and started freaking out. When I calmed him down, he said that it wouldn't be good for me, that he'd hurt me. I don't think he was thinking straight. Leigh didn't say anything right away. He just stands there, staring at nothing as he thinks about what I told him. All I can do is wait for his response, despite the returning pit in my stomach. I can tell he's come to some conclusion before he opens his mouth. His eyes light up like he's come to an understanding, and I wish I knew how much he knew about Lucas's situation. Do you think he would hurt you? What? No, he would never! And you're sure about that? Yes, I'm 100% sure. But he doesn't think so. He thinks he'll hurt you. Yes. He gives a sigh as he rubs his eyes, suddenly looking exhausted like he'd just come from finishing a full day at work. I'm not going to pry about why he thinks that, but it sounds serious. That's a lot of baggage you're putting on your shoulders, kid. Making sure you take care of yourself, too. I will. And I want you to come to me if there's a problem, for either of you. I don't care if Lucas objects. If it's serious and you need someone, you come to me, okay? I promise. And Leigh? Thanks for checking up on me. I didn't realize either of us were looking that bad. You're both open books. The only way it would be easier to tell what you two are thinking would be if I had a neon sign on your forehead. That's not a bad thing. I think that's part of why Lucas likes you. You think? You're honest and you're a good kid. That's rare in this world, and that makes you easy to trust. Something I have a feeling Lucas doesn't have a lot of. Sounds like he doesn't even trust himself. Could you promise me something as well? Anything. First, don't promise someone anything. God knows what kind of shit someone could guilt you into doing. Second, I want you to take care of Lucas. He's a good kid, too. But I want you to not try to solve everything yourself. I immediately want to argue, but I'm not able to get a single word out before he's already cutting me off and carrying on. I know you're just as much of an adult as any of us, but that doesn't mean you should handle everything yourself. I'd be saying the same shit to Lily and Oscar. You have people to rely on. Don't be afraid to call on them. They care just as much about him as you do. But, promise? With one final sigh, I have to concede despite how much I want to argue, because I know no matter how much I want to fight against him, he's right about this, and it would be irresponsible for me to deny that. I promise. Then I think it's time we get back. Oscar looks like he's about to come over and carry the both of us back. I'm glad the two of you are getting on better. I wouldn't say that. We both just have, mutual goals. I have a pretty good idea what their mutual goal is, and that's almost enough to have my face flaring up again, but I managed to keep my composure enough to not totally give myself away as we head back. Leigh and I returned to curious stares from the rest of the group, who are eagerly awaiting an explanation from Leigh, who only gives them a huff as he sits down in the vacant chair between Lily's and mine. I quickly follow suit and start sipping on my now lukewarm hot chocolate before anyone tries to get anything out of me. I don't think I want to bring this up to anyone except maybe Lucas and we're alone. It doesn't feel right to air this out without his permission first. I'll have to apologize for telling Leigh what happened, even if I didn't specifically mention that we're boyfriends now. I have the feeling he's already figured that part out. At least it looks like Lily and Oscar aren't going to press me for anything, and Lucas looks more worried about the others inquiring than either Leigh or I do. Where were you today, Wallace? I heard from Lucas that you were visiting someone about the Helena stuff. You pestered me until I told you where he was. Because you were being all shifty about it. Of course I'd want to know. Who wouldn't? I was visiting Kostya again. Who was that again? I'll admit, there's been a lot of names tossed around, and it's hard to remember them all. It's who me and Lucas visited before to find out stuff about Helena. His name is Constantine, and I knew him from when I was younger. He used to be friends with Helena. I found him on her social media and got in contact. I didn't know who he was at the time. Sounds like you guys got lucky then. Got some info and met an old friend? Sounds pretty great to me. Alright, I'm actually going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!